right. I think everything all set up. Hooray. All right. Huzzah. All right, I'm all set. Okay. Nate, hello. Hi. Hello. I will be drawing the PBC cats today. I'm also just like quickly tapping through things over here on my end because I am. Sorry, I'm also popping around. How are you doing today? Hello, everybody. It's me, Moth. I've been on a personal hiatus from my own Twitch stream stuff, so it's kind of nice to be back for a little bit to just to chill and do some PBC stuff. Hello, Antor. Hello. I'm also sorry. I do apologize. I am just pulling up my references really quickly because what this also is, for people who may or may not be aware, this is also kind of like a how to draw stream. Because I designed the PBC cats and stuff, and so if you'll excuse me, I do apologize. My drive is like incredibly full, so I'm just looking through it to find some stuff. But yeah, so hello. How you doing, Toby? I'm doing okay. It's finals for me right now, so I've got a bunch of finals going on, but this is a nice break for me. Okay, here's the question. What cat should I start with, guys? Because I've got Jam, we have Offie, we've got PBC, we have Camp Cat. I don't know. Maybe I could spin a wheel? I don't know. But yeah. You think Jam Cat? I mean, Jam is going on, so I mean, you have a point. So yeah, we'll get started with Jam Cat. I actually already have gone through, and I have colors for all the cats, I believe. Hello? Wait, where's my cat? Yes, I've got a PBC cat color palette. Hi, hello, Quiz. So yeah, we'll start with Jam Cat. Such a great suggestion. I mean, after all, Jam has been absolutely cranking along. How's everybody been, how's everybody's projects go? Because I know the submission date's over. How we all feeling? We excited? Okay. Hello? Oh, that's right. My Apple Pencil's new. I need to pair it to my device. Give me 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. I'm gonna turn this off. That's my fault, guys. I've been having a time, I'll tell you that much. Hold on. Let me make sure I pair that to my device. The Bluetooth device is ready to pair. Okay. It's connected now. There it goes. I got scared for a second. I've been having issues with my iPad and my and everything else. Finished a few hours before the deadline. Heck yeah. I'm excited for the release and the listening stream as well. But yeah. So when it comes to the cats, I like to start with kind of just a very simple, rough circle. I also like to use a light brush for all of my stuff. This is a brush that my friend made that quite literally is just the sniffer from Minecraft as a PNG. And it's a really good brush. Funny enough. Hype to listen to. Mod privilege mean I listened to a good chunk of. Oh yeah. Y'all are in for a treat. Especially with like from what I've heard from other people. I've heard about other people's projects. I'm just like, whoa, it's gonna be so good. It's good every year, but like I know there's one project in particular that I'm really excited for, so I'm excited. It'll be so fun. Anyway, continuing on. And so with the cats, it's kind of... The way I've done it is I've kind of given them all relatively distinct shapes. Which is kind of hard to tell on emote levels sometimes. But, like... Jam Cat has slightly pointier ears and slightly taller ears than most of the other cats. I'm not redrawing that. It was a good ear. They have some notches in their ears because, you know, they're going through it. They're the embodiment of the podcast jam. It's so much fun, but man, is it rough for some people. I also, you have to forgive me, this is literally the first time I've drawn digitally since February, basically, because of my Apple Pencil breaking at school. And then I got an Apple Pro, and it doesn't work with my iPad, so I've been kind of putting off getting a new one, and I got one yesterday. Because I actually found one that worked with pressure sensitivity, which is, like, I'm picky about personally. But yeah. But yeah, so I think Jam Cat's probably one of the easier ones to draw, simply for the fact that you don't have to, like, carve in. I'm also gonna turn this music down a little bit. It's, like, bugging my brain for some reason. Because you don't have to really sculpt the sides of the face as much, because he's kind of melting. He's jam, you know, he's just a little guy. So it's just about, like, getting the effect, painting the effect across of, like, oh, this is, like, a cat-shaped thing. Jam Cat, my beloved. I know there was a really cool stream that happened for the 3 years of the PBC. How many of y'all made it to that? Because that was really cool. So much fun. I may have been in attendance. Oh, that's crazy. I had no clue you'd be there. Oh, whoa. I had class. I had class during that stream. So I, like, poked my nose in on chat for, like, 0.2 seconds, and then I had to go dance. Which was really fun. I was sad I missed it, but I do love my dance class. I did make it with the recording, that's right. I did make a little recording. I was kind of, like, rambly and anxious while I was making that because I was on a time frame for myself. But hey, it worked, so... I think one of these days I'm gonna have to learn how to do, like, painterly stuff on digital mediums, and I'm gonna have to make, like, a hyper-realistic Jam Cat. Because I think that would be a really funny image. Yes, I've made a purple cat, and he's jam. Put him in a jar. It was so good, thank you. I'm glad it was good. With the cat noses, they all have a slightly different shape. I think Jam Cat's is probably the easiest shape. He's probably just... He's not the easiest overall, but, like, when it comes to basic shapes, yeah, he's pretty simple. It's just like one of these, and then you tuck the nose down a little bit. And there him is with his little nose. And I'll clean this up when I do finals. Something jar shaking around, Firefly jar, but it's Jam Cat. He'll light your way. Okay. There was also something that popped there. Whoa. Back up. Breathe and talk. There was also something that popped up on my stream manager earlier. So I'm a little interested in that because it's letting us run ads now. So let me know if you guys get any ads, I guess, because that's something we're kind of like trying to figure out is like how we're getting our affiliate shit, our affiliate stuff done. Because it won't let us like set up emotes and stuff, but everything else is fine, which is really weird. So just keep me posted. Yeah. But hey, we're at almost 200 followers over here, which is really, really cool. The more people, the better. More Officons to go. Really exciting. Haven't got hit by Nad yet. Okay, thank you, Antor. I'm actually like, I'm really excited for Officon this upcoming year. It's gonna be really cool. I did the nose not good, so I'm gonna do it again. There we go. Almost 200, now we're at 199 for here, which is really exciting. I think the most fun thing that I like to do with all of the jam cats, except for Camp Cat, because I think it's funnier if their eyes are closed. Yeah, I know, right? PBC has like grown so much in like the 3 years it's existed. Because I believe our Discord alone has... How many people are in the Discord? Hold on, I'm curious now. We have 795 members in the Discord, which is crazy to think about. So many people love audio drama, and that makes me so happy. It's one of the reasons I love this group, and I love just like getting to like expend some talents to like make things happen, because this is just such a fun group of people who are passionate about audio drama, and like, it's just so fun for me. I'm not really explaining how I'm doing this. I'm kind of just doing it. I'm so sorry. Need to be better. But with the cat's eyes, you kind of just put them, if you can kind of see what I've done here, where I've established these guidelines from the base of the ears to the top of the cheeks. This is where I'm gonna like squeeze those eyes in between. They grow so fast, I know. Developing motor skills. Our Discord server has started saying words on its own. But kind of place the eyes between there, little nose. You can, if you want to, give a little line here, but I'll do it in shading and not with like actual lineage. Jam Cat, super easy, super chill. The best part about Jam Cat is, for me, is the collar, because he's kind of chunky. You're a little chunky baby, and so you can kind of like do some rolls of jam over top of the collar, and I just think it's so freaking silly and cute. Like, that's my baby right there. Get a little collar. The PVC will be sentient soon enough. Because now what I can do with these little like bits up on the face is I can kind of adjust them, right? To like roll over the edge of the collar. Because that's fun. As I've got a chunky cat and he looks kind of cute and silly. Not that his collar's too tight or anything, but like when he's sitting down, his like little tom cheeks look so squished, and he's just so baby. Everybody loves PK. That cat is keeping me sane pretty single-handedly. PK stands for peak. And then I think the most fun thing that at least I've thrown into the cats, because I'm a sucker for a motif, as I really like doing the stars in the eyes instead of like pupils. I think it's more fun. And God forbid a man wants a little whimsy. I think almost every single PBC cat has this, just different variations. The PK is pretty awesome. Yeah, it's my little guy. He's so sweet. But what I will do now for you guys, and I'm going, you know, if you're also drawing alongside and you're like, I want the exact colors, I'm about to give them to you. So I'm gonna write down the hex codes as well as do a color swatch. So yeah, take a screenshot if you'd like. Ooh, wow, my handwriting's bad. Forgot about that. B3597. You're drawing on paper. I have no shades of purple. Should have thought this through. No, it's okay. Just shade it. Just shade it, you know? B and W, B956E3. The best part about the PBC cats, though, is that these three colors over here, this like blue, yellow, and whatever, these are gonna carry over through all the cats. These are the eye colors and the collar colors. These are also the blues we use for the PBC stuff, so that's why I picked them. Oops. Always connect. 96BFF. And then this yellow is just one of my favorite shades of yellow. I use it for like everything. I'm surprised I actually don't have this hex code memorized. E73. I'll just color those so they're legible. By any chance, is this the exact yellow your model has right now? It might be the exact yellow. This might be moth yellow for the antennas. Yeah, I'm not gonna confirm nor deny that. I didn't even mean to talk that high pitched. My voice just cracked and got stuck there. Damn it! Yeah, no, that's my favorite yellow to use because it's not too bright, it's not too obnoxious, it's not too orange. It's like a good yellow. I have it. I think you know what? I think it is the exact same yellow. Where's mine? Mine is so full. Yeah, it's the exact same yellow. But yeah, so PBC cats, little babies. I love them so much. But there's that for you guys in the top. It's pretty fun. Your little jam cat face. And then with the cat bodies, it's just a cat body and just add goo. I don't know if I'm gonna do a body for Jam. You know what? I am. I haven't drawn Jam's body in so long. The last time I did was for Pod Jam like 2 years ago, I think. Like the first or second one. How many have we done? We've done 3 now. So yeah, I did it for the second jam. So last year, I guess. Yeah, time is an illusion, folks. Cause yeah, I'll do the bodies for all of them because I did give them different like cat body things happening. So I'm not saying I'm a professional on how to draw a cat in the slightest. I will say right now, but I have a decent idea. I know how shapes kind of function. What inspired the jam cats? Okay, so I think I briefly talked about this in my voice note for the last stream, but essentially what it was is that sometime after, I believe, yeah, it was sometime after AuffieCon going into jam number 2, Niet, Quills, and I sat down and did an art stream where Quills was crocheting, I was drawing, and Niet was hanging out with us. And it was kind of just like, I want to like make stuff for the server. And so what it first started out with was, I'll go tab over really quickly. Very first one was this little cat emote thing that was cute. And I'm going to redo that one because I kind of don't like the sparkles in the slightest. And then it was like, oh, this is PBC Cat. And then someone was like, oh, I was like, oh, well, I'll do cat for Offie too. And then we have Cat Hug, which is one of my favorite, like this is probably my most used Discord emoji or whatever they're calling on Discord. And then we just like branched into Jam Cat. And then when we brought up Pod Camp, you got Camp Cat, which was a lot of fun for me in particular because it was such a different thing. Yo, hey, Ollie. But yeah, so and like I said, I'm not a professional. Well, I mean, never mind. I'm not really, but I can get my way around drawing cats. I've been doing enough anthro art for a while. Hi, Ollie. Hope you've been doing okay. How is wrapping up your guys' jam project? We're just doing a little hangout and working on Jam Cat. But this is kind of like the body shape. If you kind of like look at it from the collar, it's kind of like a really wide heart. You can kind of see that comes in. Then we'll have like the little bits of shoulder joint here, which we'll get to in a second. But the body for most cats kind of like sitting, kind of does almost a wine bottle shape. Kind of curves around. But you've got a forward sitting cat, so what'll happen here, right, is the arms will come in like that. The body will scoop around the sides. Probably a little more tucked than that. Edited 8 hours a day for the... Whoa! We had the longest... Yeah, I know. Finch was telling me about how long it was. I'm really excited to hear it, because obviously, like, Finch and I are roommates. So, like, we were talking about our projects. Unfortunately, we had to pull our project out just because of some... everything happening to everybody in my group at once, and we just decided, like, let's pull out. It's fine. We'll bring it back next year, but funny enough, actually, Ollie, we had a similar... not similar premise, but a similar theme to you guys. So I'm hoping we can come back next year and do it. Hello, studios. But yeah, so you can kind of see this shape that's happening here. Fat cat sit kind of thing. Little guy. He looks so polite in this. He looks so polite. Even though I have like finished his body, he's so polite looking. Have to ramp that opacity back up a little bit. Yeah, but it'll be cool when we get to finish it. Maybe we'll just do it as a personal passion thing, because it's just a really cool premise. It's what happens when you get your entire D&D party to do a project. It's fun. But you can kind of see here, right? It's got this almost because of the way the bones work, right? We got a connection here. We've got our carving in. Then we have like that. I'm gonna start doing more like fun like things like, oh, I'm gonna draw the skeleton and then I'm gonna build everything on top of it. Kind of stuff would be cool. After nightfall, next project and length was 30. Yeah, I was asking Finch, I was like, how many pages is your script? And he was telling me, I was like, you guys have half an hour minimum. No way it's any less than half an hour. So I'm really excited to listen to it. She made it longer. There was more time to torture characters. Exactly. Then you use that time and you play D&D and you torture your characters there instead. This is my solution. This is my design. And so I'm also gonna say, if you're also drawing alongside with the like legs and stuff, don't be too bent about like the shape of it, because we're gonna goo them up anyway, right? So I'm gonna cheat a little bit. Sorry for my paper drawers, and I'm gonna just move this over here. But I want to make sure I get through them all in a timely manner, because I do have to continue studying for my finals. This is my break right now. Because I've got a lot of work to do. I've got 5 papers left to write, and I have an exam revisiting due tonight and a test due tomorrow. It's a lot, but you know what? We ball! I've got multiple energy drinks, and this is a nice little break for me, because I haven't drawn in so long. When it comes to audio drama, 1 page minimum is like, yeah, it's like 1.5 minutes, exactly. You're gonna make more episodes? Oh, heck yeah, that's so exciting. With the pause, what I like to do, and I'll do it on a separate layer, is I kind of just do this bar shape, hook the other one around, and then we got some pause. I may not be the world's best anthro artist, but I'm certainly kind of getting my way around there. And then I'll tuck another one back over here just for the sake of it. I'm gonna adjust that shape a little bit because it is just a little too round for what everything else is. And then obviously the kibbies have claws, but I'm not worried about that in particular right now. The duplicate tool is my beloved, especially when I'm doing basically symmetrical things. And here's where the fun is gonna kind of come into play. So obviously we've got like, the cat's body has a upward chest, and then this is more in. So what we're gonna do is add goo. No pause for me. I ran out of paper. Don't worry about your pause. You don't need no whittle pause. But the fun thing is with the goo, because obviously like matter like that is pretty constantly changing and moving. It has a lot of energy because of its shape and molecular structure. You can kind of just like do what you want with the goo. Me personally, I like to kind of like kind of follow the curve and then add where I'm like, okay, so this is curving, and then we could just have it kind of droop here. And then this is kind of high up, so then I can add another little bit here. And it flows pretty good. Goo cat. But personally, I like to add little flecks off the side. So it's like he's dripping. But I think that's just fun and whimsy and kind of cutie patootie. But yeah, like it's a constantly shifting. I think the only places I ever consistently do the goo is like on the head, because I like the little plop of jelly on his head. But I will say with his tail, I'm gonna start it here because I'm a cheater. It's a pretty basic cat shape. Just a nice long skinny tail. And then you can kind of buff around the outsides of that guideline to like fill it in portionally correctly. I'm also a big fan of just like little like hatch lines on things, so I think it makes it look kind of cool. Is Jam Cat made of jam or covered in jam? Yes. I believe he's just made of jam. But I honestly haven't like sat down and like done little translucent stuff, which I was talking about earlier. I was like, oh, it'd be cool to like do some painterly stuff with that. If I could teach myself. Both can be true. Exactly. Jam Cat lore. I think Jam Cat is just made of jam. I think the like if we're gonna dig into lore, and these are just my personal headcanons as like the designer. These aren't like confirmed official things. But I think what would be kind of silly lore for like the PBC cats like as a whole is that like just like the existence of so much passion for this thing has brought life to it. Both, you know, literally in the sense of like it's getting done and people are enjoying it, but also like in this case, in a literal sense of like you brought sentience to this because you cared so much about it. And I think that's just always like deep and fun and meaningful. These paws look kind of funky, but you know what? It's okay. That's just my thought process about that. I'm sure other people have like different feelings and stuff about it, but that's just like how I feel and think. I think it's fun. And then little feets over here. Because cats kind of sit really tucked. And I'm gonna actually grab my tail and move it down a little bit. Those are my you know, my theory, my game theory. What a beautiful way to think. Because it's like, you know, when you love something so much, when you put time and effort and passion into something, it takes a life of its own. Which is, you know, all part of the fun. And then I'm gonna do like some world record line art here, I hope. Because I'm just not that guy. Oh, Goopy Slime Puddle pulling his feet. You so right. I'm gonna do that right now. Actually, I'll do that after I scooch him up. Why don't I draw the circle first? And hooks. Become one with the goo. He just makes messes, it would appear. Goo time. Free jam. We should make him a toast cat. Jam and toast cat. I mean, that's kind of... I guess that's kind of Camp Cat, which that's kind of fun that they kind of like unintentionally tie into each other a little bit. Because Camp Cat's kind of based on like a toasted marshmallow, so like, you know, like s'mores, campfire kind of thing. Which because I was like, I can't decide if I just want to make this cat be on fire, or he should be s'mores, or a marshmallow, or like what. And it was just so much fun. What flavor? Jam? I believe because he's purple, I think he's grape flavored, which is technically a jelly. But honestly, if we want to go jam, blackberry. Blackberry and raspberry jams, in my personal opinion, are the best variety of jam. Because I'm not a big fan of jellies. I prefer like jams, which... Huh? Wait, what was that? What was that sound? Oh wait, we hit our follower goal of 200. Oh, thank you for whoever just followed. Whoa, holy cow, yay! That's so exciting. I don't have those alerts set up correctly at all. Holy cow. Oh, hello. Well, thank you. First time chatter. Is it, I don't know how to say it. Are these now the final outline? Yes, these are now the final outline lines. I'm outlining now. Sorry, I'm also now like going over because I guess we have alerts set up and I didn't realize it. I might make some actual alert stuff for us at some point in time. Obviously, they will not be active during big streams like Jam and AuffieCon, but I think it'd be fun for like things like this. Yay! Outlining it. Hello, Enna. Thank you so much for the follow. I don't know how to say your name. Is it Brinals? Brinals? Listen, I may be an actor and I may study voice and diction, but I can't always read everything. I'm still a little dumb. But yeah, Ready Rock. Well, yeah, welcome in. PBC is a good time. Brina, like Sabrina. Gotcha. Well, welcome in, Brina. I'm Moth. I'm one of the PBC mods. If you don't know what the PBC is and you're just like, you found us because of Twitch, we're the podcast book club and it's a good party time. We listen to audio drama and have an absolute blast and host a lot of events. And if you are from the PBC, welcome to Twitch. It's a place to be. I'm kind of going over our little mascot cats for our events. On the Twitch and the Discord. Oh, yay! Well, thank you for making our 200th follower. That's so exciting. I'm so excited to see this channel grow. Rah! So exciting. I'm actually going to go manage the goal really quickly. Our new goal. And circle. Boom. There we go. New goal. Ta. But yes, welcome to the party. I think my favorite thing about the cats is like the eye shape is so big and so fun for my brain. Cause I love drawing. I'm not to be like every artist ever, but I love drawing eyes, but more so like I think shape gives a lot of life to a piece, and so I just really like the shapes that I've developed. Like, I don't know if like, I messed up. What I really like about Jamcat is the way that the eye kind of droops over on this side. Cause like AuffieCat is just like that. PBC Cat kind of swoops. Jamcat goes like this. It's like, they're very subtle differences, but I like them a lot. Stop staring at me with the big old eyes. I'm looking. They're staring. New goal 250, yeah. Good setup. And obviously see this line like right here. This is a guideline from we're gonna color because Jamcat pattern wise is basically a tuxedo cat. If you want to think about it like that. Give me 1 second. Editor. Video mode. And so if you guys do or don't know what a tuxedo cat looks like, they kind of have like different little white parts, but I had the lighter purple is what that's for. Jam in a tuxedo when? Jam's always in a tuxedo. They're a tuxedo cat. I could do all the cats in formal attire though. That would be kind of fun. Maybe that's something I can do when we get like I don't know, like 1,000 followers or something, somewhere. 1,000 something. I'll do them all in suits. And little outfits. Built-in tuxedo, came out the womb, ready to ball. Party cat over here. You get it. And then I don't know why I like this particular shape with like the collar tag, but I like it kind of curved, and then I like to keep the collar nice and tight, or the tag nice and tight. I think that comes partially from my, you know, my experience raising cats. If you have, fun fact, I guess, if you're a cat owner, when it comes to your cat, if it has a collar, it's best to keep as little items on it as possible, especially, like, never give your cat a bell. Because their ears are so powerful, and the bell is so loud and so close, it messes their hearing up. So, like, with my cats, they have one singular tag, and even that, honestly, is too loud for them, so I'm looking at getting clip tags for the collars itself. I could care about my babies. I may be a poor college student, but I still care about my babies. Like, those are my babies. I love my cats. Just like how I love the PBC cats. Now, those are like my literal babies. I came up with those little guys. I just love designing new things for our group. It's so fun. Luckiest cats ever. Yeah, they're pretty spoiled for how poor I am. I tried to make sure they're living happy, healthy little baby lives. You know, they make my life better, so I'm gonna make their life as good as I can. The critters always eat first. Yeah, basically. And man, oh man, do they eat. PK, I was having like an issue there for a while with, where I was like, Sparrow needs to put on weight, but PK is like trying to eat all her food, and I'm not always home. So I'm like trying to figure out how to, I finally got it sorted, but he was just getting real fat. And I was like, dude, come on. Love him. His greed is biblical. The gluttony in the Bible, yeah. That's how it be with that little creature. But yeah, now I'm kind of like grabbing those. I might actually, sorry, I do this a lot like in line art. I'm like, you know what, I want to add more. I think I'm gonna add just like a little drip of jam right here. But like I said, the jam lines are kind of just like, do what you want kind of thing. Make it fun. His little feet are tucked in there. He's so cozy and so safe. Then should be able to turn that off. Yeah, here pretty soon. So much drip. That's the dad jokes. You know how it works. Actually, while I have some of you here, because I've been thinking about doing this for a while, and I've been waiting for school to get over so I can logistically figure it out. How would you guys feel if we, as the moderation team, did like some D&D one-shots on stream? What are your guys' thoughts on that? Because I may or may not have like 40 one-shots like pre-built, ready to go. Any thoughts? I think it's something that would happen over the summer. It'd be amazing. Especially because I have like Feywild one-shots, I've got pirate one-shots, I've got desert-themed one-shots, I've got a lot of stuff. We will be there. Nate always says that it's a genuine, like, it's not only is it like a promise, it's a threat. Which I love. Give him some more drip. Literally. Drippy cat. Yeah. Oh, and then the eyes, obviously. Oh yeah, you cannot summon me there, it's impossible. Nate said where there's a will, there's a way. Okay. Alright, so we've gotten some like nice lines thrown down on Jam. I'm gonna go ahead and flip that off just to kind of take a look at it. He does look naked right now. Don't worry, we're gonna fix that. So I'm gonna make sure everything's connected over here. Looks to be the case. I lied. Apparently it's not the case. Oh, there it is. Still not the case? Where are we not connecting at? That should be it. Now, there we go. And I'm probably just gonna start with that base color and just fill that layer with that base color. Now what we're gonna do is I just do some clipping masks on top of that base color. Beautiful wet. Oh no. And we're gonna go in with this lighter purple, which is like the B9, or if you're not using color, just like it's a lighter, you know, shading technique. Oh, sorry. Pardon. Goodness, I apologize. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lower the opacity here so I can turn this sketch layer back on and I can follow the guide I gave myself earlier and just make sure I'm on the right layer. That is always my downfall. Somehow I always manage to just like not be on the right layer, and then I'm like, well, guess I'll start that over. Which once again, not the end of the world. I'm really excited to have my iPad back because now I can draw more Project Hail Mary stuff. After finals are over though, I'm having to like limit myself because I really need to lock in. But yeah, so it's kind of hard to see. Maybe what I'll do instead is I will throw this up above. Yeah. Kind of see shape of the tuxedo there. And then it kind of like follows him down the body. Onto his little tummy. I just watched Project. Oh, dude, I actually amaze. I'm gonna go see it for the 4th time in theaters on Sunday. That is how good it is. I am like not a cinephile. I don't really like want to go to the movies to see a movie. I haven't for a long time, and this is the first time I've like had the urge to like go see a film, which makes me so happy because like cinema's been kind of dead for a long time because of just corporate greed, in my personal opinion. And it's just such a good film. And I'm gonna be reading the book after finals over, because once again, I'm limiting myself because I have to pass these classes, and I've got a lot of work to do. But that's the fun of college, you know? Oopsie. There we go. Nope, not connected where? There we go. But yeah, so he's got these little, like, short, little, they're called, okay. So when they're just on the paws, they're mittens. When they go up a little bit, they're, gloves. And then when they come all the way up, they're stockings. Or no, so they're socks. And then there's stockings if they're all the way, like, up top. Same thing for horses, except for the mittens part. They don't have that. They just have, gloves, and they just have, socks and stockings. I don't know why I'm saying this. Ryan Gosling. Oh, literally. Anush heard your voice coming from my phone. And oh, hi! 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 It's good to talk to you through Raleigh. You are now, I don't know, a messaging device. I don't know. I'm on some stuff. Okay, not some stuff, but I'm on a roll with Jamcat. So now what I'm gonna do with this like lighter purple, I'm just gonna briefly sculpt out kind of like that general shape. And then what I like to do is I'll add some hatching in both colors. So like if you're doing this on paper and you're like just using like one color, what you can do is you can take your eraser here and you can kind of just hatch through with that slightly quote unquote darker color, right? And then you can take you can hatch through here on the outside with the eraser. And then on the inside, you can just take a little bit of your pencil and just add a little more in there, because then it kind of like makes it blend pretty well without like actually having to like sit here and blend it by hand or use a Gaussian blur or anything. It gives it just like this illusion of kind of like meshing together. And I know it's like, yes, this portion down here will be darker after I shade it. I'll throw some shading down on this. Then we'll take this yellow color, and that's going to be the color for the eyes. Both the whites of the eyes and the pupils, which are the stars. I just follow and fill in there. And then what'll happen is that on what you're looking at, like on your end, it'll be the right eye is the darker blue. So when you're looking at it, your right side, which is the little left of the image, technically, because you know how that stuff lays out, that'll be the darker blue. And yes, I know the colors look kind of weird because of the gray background, but I promise when you switch the background to something else, it looks really, you know, different. It also is going to look different what you guys are seeing to what I'm seeing because of the way my iPad is versus like the way Reflector is. It's just so interesting how RGB works digitally. Gaussian blur, my beloved. Even if you're not using it, love Gaussian blur. No, literally. I used to pretty much only use that for when I was doing shading stuff, but honestly, now I'm like more like I'm going to go in by hand and blur things. But what I really like Gaussian blur for is if I really don't want to do a detailed background, I will either take a picture of something that I want to be the background and I will throw it into my background and then I'll blur it. So and then I'll add some lines to sharpen things up because that's fun. Or I'll just throw down random colors and Gaussian blur it until it looks normal to my eyes. Yeah. And then obviously last touch before I shade. Jam gets the little yellow tag, and their collar is the dark blue. I think almost all of them have the dark blue for the collar, if I remember correctly. Except for Offie. Offie doesn't have a collar, because they're feral. But yeah, collars or bandanas are always this dark blue. Who says I don't know anything about marketing and design and branding? I know fun things about it. There we go. And then that very, very, very dark purple is going to go right on the tippy top of his head. And then if you want to, you can do this. And if you have his tongue out, this dark purple is the same color as his tongue on the inside of his mouth. He's all purple, except for his eyes. Yeah, so what I'll do now is we'll go ahead and flick this, this off. And I'm gonna use that darker purple as well down here on his little peats. Not on his peats, but on the jam beneath him. Just to add a little bit of, what is it? Contrast. Yeah, there he is. That's him. PJ would love this cat. I bet PJ would. I don't know if I've ever actually shown that to PJ before. I don't know if PJ, well, actually no, PJ does know about PBC because they're on your jam team, I believe, right? Oh, and oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, I almost forgot. The ears. I totally almost forgot that. Whoops. So sorry. I'm put together 24/7. I don't know what you're talking about. Whew. Close, he almost wasn't finished. There he goes. I was like, he looks kind of weird. That ties it in much better. And then what I'll do to shade it is I usually use a specific kind of red, but because PBC licensed jam cat's so purple, let's just take a dark purple, make my layer a multiply layer, and then I'm just gonna come through and I'm just gonna do some very, very chill cell shading because I don't really care right now. Well, I don't care about doing this. It's just like I'm not gonna sit here and take 10,000 years, do a bunch of shading. You know, if you could do it simply. If you can do it simple and it still looks good, go for it. Kind of my philosophy. Unless you really, really, really want to, you know, challenge yourself. It's just the kind of stuff I do when I'm like trying to get something simple done. And yes, I know these look super... What is a podcast book club? Well, I don't know. Never heard of it before. Really cool, so why don't you get on that? All I know is Purple Blue Club. Yeah. Maybe a podcast where they read books. That's actually kind of funny. Someone making a podcast out of their book club would actually be really interesting. Because I've been in a book club before, and honestly, sometimes I'm like I ended up leaving the group because I was like, no one here has media literacy at all. And we are literally being literate about media. It was actually kind of frustrating. I left that group so quick. I guess that's kind of what happens when you're in a book club in a more conservative area. But I was like, no one here has media literacy. I don't know what's happening. I don't know why I'm bringing this shading technique back. I haven't done this since I used to do Malevolent fan art. It's been a long time. That's fun though. So then what you do after you kind of get that shading done is you grab your multiply layer and you drop the opacity of it. I usually try to drop it down to like 30%. Sometimes a little higher, depends on the day. And then what I'll also do is I'll come in and we'll add a little more right here. That'll be Jam Cat. Everybody loves Jam Cat. There he is, little guy. I like it a lot. Never seen the technique done before. I might steal it. It's a really fun technique because it's not only is it really simple, but it's really effective. Same thing with the way that I do my coloring with the select and inversion. It just like saves a lot of time. But yeah, there's the little guy. What I'll do now is I'm just gonna go ahead and group Jam Cat up. Actually gonna unalpha lock this. I'm gonna grab, nope. We'll grab these. I'm going to cut and paste. So I could go throw it in the Jam Cat folder. Boom. Done. Is Jam Cat for the closing stream? I mean, I'm sure we could put him on there. I'm just, this is kind of just like just doing a little art stream just to kind of like, I don't know, hang out with you guys. We're also trying to get the Twitch channel to affiliate, because, I don't know if you guys know this, but none of us are paid, which is totally fine. But this is a way for us to start like making back some of the money that we have personally put into these projects, into the PBC as a whole. One of the ways that I try to give back to the group is I do basically commissions for free. I do a lot of art just because I'm saving us money on like having to hire artists, because a lot of this comes out of our own pockets. Unless you're a Ko-fi donator, which if you are, thank you so much. You help us make things possible here. I'd gladly pay for a subscription. Yeah. But yeah, so we're like trying to get up there. So then also like all of the PBC cats that I've made, they're for Twitch. They're Twitch emotes. They're ready to go. I see, you know, we need to get to affiliate to do that. But obviously, like I believe, and I'm like the Twitch person, so I'm kind of speaking on behalf of the group, but also just from like my plans in general. But like when it comes to Podcast Jam, when it comes to AuffieCon, ads will be turned off. Those are free events. We are not going to make you sit there and watch ads. It's going to be more for stuff like this, where we're like trying to like, my goal after I kind of get settled back from my personal hiatus, but also working here, my goal for us is to have, at least I want to host at least 2 decent sized mod streams a month. And then also giving moderators a floor to kind of just like hop on and like, okay, well, we're gonna script write together, or we're gonna do some editing, or we're gonna make some music together, or we're gonna draw, or I'm gonna crochet, and, you know, just like working on a list of just like hanging out with the community in a way that allows you guys to engage with us and to kind of see what we're doing behind the scenes, but also like is a way for us to make a little bit back for like what we've spent, because I know Finch has spent so much money. I have spent a lot of money. I know other moderators have spent a lot of money. For those of you here for the first AuffieCon, we gave away a microphone, and that came out of a lot. We all contributed in our own way, so that came out of our pockets a lot. And so we want to do more stuff like that, but it's kind of hard when it's all out of our pocket. So if we're able to like make more money through like Ko-fi or things like this, we can give back to you guys for supporting us so much. That's my thought on it. Obviously, this is like not an official, like we're doing this kind of thing, but those are just like my thoughts from like kind of bit of my thought behind the scenes of what would be nice to do. Because like we wouldn't be here without any of you, is where I'm at with that. So what I am going to do really quickly is I do need to run to the restroom. I'm going to try. It says I can run an ad break, so I'm going to try that. We'll see what happens. I don't know why it says that, but I'm going to go to the bathroom and it won't take more than a minute. Anybody else get ads? No ads? See, well, because Quills, what I have on the creator dashboard is saying I can run ads. So I turned it on and I don't know what's happening. One of the big things we run into is because there's so many moderators who run Twitch streams from all over the world. Twitch does not update well. So sometimes like I'm seeing that I can do affiliate things. Like I'm seeing affiliate things back here, but it's not giving me access to them, which is like, what's happening? But that's also one of the reasons we're trying to get these streams cranked out in May is because we want to like get that done so we can give back to you guys sooner. I think maybe after I'm out of school and I get my job set up, maybe then, you know what? Heck it. I'm gonna probably do that D&D one shot that I have ready to go. Because it'd be fun. And I know there are some other moderators like Cole who are dungeon masters, and so there's opportunities for more of that. I also just really, really love D&D, and I want to put a lot of like quote unquote like showbiz effort into it for the stream. I want to like draw character PNG tubers. I want to like do really cool stuff with it. So it's gonna take a little bit of planning and work on my end, but that's what's fun for me. And then I can stream drawing the D&D stuff either like here or on my personal channel or like whatever's going on at that point in time. But yeah. Anyway, we're gonna move on to another cat. Let's go simple. We're gonna do a PBC cat who's like the baby, the very, very first one. They're very easy to draw, and their color palette is also really simple. So yeah, that'd be so cool. I think it'd be fun. I also just like think D&D streams are cool, but also that like maybe is something we could like record on our own end and maybe like do an Acast thing of like mod podcast things, like a TTRPG thing. That would be interesting. But that's just like, I'm just throwing ideas out. And if you guys have any, like, if you're like, ooh, that sounds really cool, maybe it becomes more of a precedent or like any suggestions or whatever. Because not that I run out of ideas, but like I have to separate like classic Twitch streamer things and like basically what is like advertising a brand is kind of what this is more so of. But neither here nor there. I'm gonna draw PBC cat now. And I have to think like what kind of pose I want to put them in. Hold on, let me really quickly. You might hear some typing, I apologize. This would actually be really funny, but it's not good on how to. I'm gonna save this. It's basically like a 0.5 of a cat looking up, and I think I'm gonna do all the PBC cats like that later because it's really funny. But I'm trying to like look at some other ways cats' bodies move and look and do stuff. So sorry. References are important. Keyboard ASMR. Consume more D&D stuff in general, dude. My campaign has been on a little bit of a break because of finals and some personal things, but we've been playing WoW Beyond the Witchlight since August, and I want to say almost 200 hours of audio recording from it, and we're not even gonna do anything with it. We're just like, we have it for ourselves to go back and listen through to like make sure like, oh, I thought I said this, oh, I actually said this, okay, well that, because you know, we're obviously WoW Beyond the Witchlight deals with hags, which is yeah, that's fun. And also I'll just go ahead and throw down the baby's color over here. It's quite literally, it's almost white. It's a blue white, because I try not to ever deal with straight up harsh whites, because it's not good for the eyeballs. ECF1. And once again, hex colors are here for everybody. I'll post this in the art area after streams are over. I'll get these all posted and up for you guys. Oh, I'm just so happy to be drawing again. I've been dying. But yeah. Sounds like y'all are having fun. Oh yeah, it's like such a good campaign. My dungeon master is amazing. The group chemistry is pretty good. I have had 2 characters. I'm currently playing a Dragonborn druid. But when we started the campaign, I was playing a half elf Oath of Devotion paladin. He was very, very tragic. For those of you who did a night themed podcast, a jam thing, he would fit right in. He's so tragic, and he hates his life, and I love him. Gideon, my beloved. It's one of those characters. I don't know if this is like a thing for like writers, as much as it is for me, but he's one of those characters you're like, man, I love torturing that guy. That's how he is for me. Which is, you know, you think what you want about me because of that. And recently that hex code represent the values of red, blue. Yeah. It's really, really cool. It blew your mind. It blew your mind. Yeah. Gideon, his oath, he's so tragic because his oath of devotion is to his wife. That was like his like wedding vows. And then he broke his oath like pretty early on in the campaign on accident, because I care about drama and he hates people who lie. So he called it out and got his wife threatened, and then he broke his oath. In a very, very, very loose way of explaining what happened. That's basically what it was, though. But we're gonna do PBC Cat now. It was just a little baby. Am I on the right? Okay, there we go. Yes, drama is important. Hey, Raspberry Jam your mind. I love Raspberry Jam. So I think this time what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of, well, here's the question. Should we draw PBC Cat loafing, or should we draw them like standing? Let me get thoughts. Actually, hold on, guys. We don't have the pull function yet. Never mind. Loaf cat. Yes. Let that baby loaf. This time I am gonna start out with like the full body sketch, and then I'll get into details. But the loaf is really fun to do because it's kind of just like pause. Like that, you know? Once again, I'm not a cat professional. I'm just a boy. Do my best. My cat always looks so goofy when he loafs. Especially if you look at him from the front. It's like, dude, you're like gonna fall off. Loaf with a big yawn. I could probably do that. I'm also trying to think of like what would be easy, because this is a like draw alongside kind of thing. So I'm also trying to think about like what would be easy shapes for other people to do as well. That looks ridiculous. Oh my gosh. Bye, Nate. Fair. Yeah, I could fix it though. I can make it work. I'm so determined. I'll just start with the head shape, I guess. So what I like to do with PBC Cat is I make them very round. If anybody here is kind of like done chibi, however you say it, drawing, it's a lot like that general structure. I'm sure people are aware of this, but in case they're not, one of the biggest inspirations for the shape in a lot of anime is like cats. It's like cute cat girl kind of thing. It's like, what's, you know, really, really cute. The big eyes, small nose. Even the head shape alone is very, you know, cat, because it's, you know, cats have a very triangular shaped head because how low their jaw is, and the way their teeth are built, kind of thing, which is kind of cute, kind of fun. PBC Cat has a heart-shaped nose that doesn't quite drop down as far as Jam's nose does. Like Jam's nose kind of tucks like this. Theirs is just a little heart. Boom, little dot eye. No, I'm kidding. I do like when I do little dot eyes because it's kind of fun. Their ears are pointier, but they are way wider. Like this. And they've got ear fluff as well. And a little head tuft, because I think that it's cute. It's kind of my only justification for a lot of the things I do. I'm like, I don't know, I thought it was cute. They are a slightly fluffier cat than Jam. Not the fluffiest though, that would be Offie. Offie is incredibly fluffy. Cat, yeah, Dorito. It reminds you of Starscream. The Sneal with dot eyes. Yeah, I love the Sneals too. I cannot take any credit on Sneals. That was not me. The only Sneal that I have made is the energy drink Sneal during OffieCon this last year. I need to draw more Sneals though, because like Sneal is really popular, really cutie patootie. I love Sneal. Whoever thought of Sneal, plus 10 stars. But yeah. I bet I could get a good loaf out of this. Plus 10 experience. Sneal's super trendy, get with the times. Listen, oh yeah, I made cookie Sneals. I was there for Sneal cookie. I made Sneal cookie. That was my kitchen. I also want to like, I'm actually trying to figure out a way to set up cooking streams better. I'm looking at getting some different cameras, and I've got some wireless microphones because I don't have a laptop anymore. What I used to do is I used to set up cooking streams with my laptop, but now that I have a PC, I have these really cool wireless microphones that connect to my PC. I've got 2 of them. So I'm also trying to find wireless cameras, so I can get like 2 wireless cameras. I can just bring my iPad in and do stuff like that. It'd be really fun. Not only for like, for here especially, because I think it's fun to like do different recipes and stuff. I also just really love cooking. It's like probably my biggest love language. If I make you food, I care about you. I love cooking for people. I had some friends who needed to stay the night at my place like 2 weekends ago. Just kind of an emergency situation. I will not get into details. But, you know, they rolled in super late. I was like, okay. They called me. I said, okay, do you guys need to eat when you get here? Like, what's going on? Da-da-da-da-da. And they're like, no, we already ate. It's like, okay, cool. So you guys are going to come in and you're going to sleep. But you're not allowed to leave in the morning until I can feed you breakfast. I was like, I can't give you money for gas. I can't help that way. But, you know, I can feed you. I can save you $30 at a drive-thru. Just, you know, don't leave until I feed you. So I ended up staying up basically all night. While they were sleeping, and I tried to very quietly in my kitchen make them food. Because I made a loaf of bread. Well, I made 2 loaves of bread. I just used one for them. I made bagels from scratch. And so what I did is I made them bagel breakfast sandwiches, and then I used that homemade bread I made, and I made them peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and I sent them on the way with those so they could have them. I just like making food for people, man. I love to cook. And I honestly, I did a lot of the cooking for my family when I was, you know, kind of still living with them. So I have a hard time cooking small portions. So like, I like cooking for groups of people because it's easier for me to cook. Because when I cook like small portions, I tend to either A, make the portion sizes too large, or B, I use too much seasoning, especially garlic and salt, because I love garlic. I think it's a really staple ingredient for most things. I don't care if you don't use garlic in some pastas, I'm gonna use it anyway, kind of situation. But yeah. But as you can kind of see, sorry, I'm getting back on topic, with PBC Cat, I think I was talking about with earlier with the shape of the eyes. Like, yeah, this top portion's pretty similar, but the bottom portion kind of swoops in and makes their eyes look a little less doe-eyed, a little more quote-unquote normal, if you want to think about it that way. I believe this. Bad stars, but you get the point. I will say, and I'm doing it like this to kind of display, it is kind of hard to use these stars as pupils. The shape is kind of hard to nail down sometimes, but it, you know, it looks cool, so I'm gonna rock with it. When you're making a sandwich but accidentally cook a 5-course meal, basically. Because something I'll even do for myself is I'll like meal prep for the week, so I'll make like a bunch of egg salad or a bunch of tuna salad, and I'll just eat sandwiches like that all week. The only people I know who don't like garlic is because of autism and food sensitivities. Yeah. I know one person who loves garlic, but they're allergic to it, so they can't have it. They're not as allergic as their sibling is, but like their stomach hurts really bad. And yes, we did make the vampire jokes at them all the time growing up, so like, yeah. So like one time I was cooking food for like a birthday party, and I had to make a separate portion of pasta carbonara for them without garlic, because I am... heavy is the hand that pours the garlic from the jar. I've got jarlic. I usually buy jarlic because it's really easy to use. But recently I was in the kitchen with Spooky, and I was like, hey, can you crush some garlic for me? You know, because like we had a bunch, we needed to get it crushed so you didn't go bad. And they were like, oh yeah, da, da, da. And I was like, oh, actually, haha, what if you filled up that entire jar? Just kidding, don't do that, it'd be bad for your hands. And then I said something along the lines that made them think that I was challenging them. So then they proceeded to fill up a like 16-ounce jar with crushed garlic cloves. And now I've got a giant jar of garlic in my fridge because I accidentally said something to spite my roommate. You too can live with people full of spite. It's an enjoyable experience, not even being sarcastic, genuinely. But yeah, sorry. Getting back to this, little cheek tufts. And I'm kind of just like erasing a few of this so I can just see how it's gonna look with the thinner lines, so I don't like get too ahead of myself. I'm switching tabs so frequently to keep up with you guys and everything else, all my references. So I do apologize. Want garlic so bad. Looks like its most phenomenal garlic salt seasoning. It's for for popcorn. That sounds delicious. Pardon, so sorry. I'm like I'm choking over here, it would appear. Here nor there. I'm gonna try to do this loaf now. How can I go about this? Yeah, I like that about. I'm also exploring with this. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to make sure it's like easy for people to follow. But I think this is pretty simple shape-wise. You kind of see what shapes are being thrown down here, right, guys? I hope, at least. Just one loafed cat. Then you can grab the tail, and their tail is almost fluffy. It's kind of just, I mean, you kind of saw me flick it like that. It's kind of just like a line up, puff, puff, through. That's it. And then I'll come through and I'll erase this so you can see a little better. It's just a little puff. And if you're feeling fancy and free, puff, puff at the end. Just to show that this cat is like slightly fluffy, but not like, you know, insanely puffed up. And then what you can do as well is that like whether it's like joints or like where things are folding over, you can kind of flick and add a little other details, because it once again emphasizes that point that this cat is, you know, a little fluffy. This is kind of cute. He looks so demure, so polite. The best part though is that like he's got these little tiny little eyebrows. He looks devious like that. Hold on, let me just I'm taking you guys through all the angles of stuff, I guess. No, that's just gotta be a little smaller. Boom. Little creature. So what I can do now is I can effectively kind of just like enlarge the creature. You know what, let's put him in a little cat bed. Everybody else has got we'll do a little cat bed for him. Just for funsies, you know, like nothing's really stopping us. Beautiful. The creature. So now we'll drop the opacity, and luckily with this cat, it is genuinely the simplest coloring on the face of the planet. Okay, super easy. Because this is the first one I did, so I was, you know, just kind of like a jump off simple idea, and then I kind of just kept getting a little more complicated as I went. Pardon, so sorry. I'm just kind of in love with this ear shape that's like so like wide. It just makes me happy. And like I said before with that, this where like things connect at, adding like little dots here like helps the connectivity flow in. So it's like not just like, oh, I'm going from this big curve to like another straight line, you know. It allows things to flow better when they overlap just a little bit. Polite Kippy. Oh, yeah. I would say that PBC Cat's probably the politest of all of them. Offie's the evil one. Cause hold on, I'll just very briefly tab out. I've got evil Offie Cat down here somewhere. Oh, he's turned off, but he's evil. This is one of my favorite ones. I think it's hilarious. It's a hilarious image. There it is. Why he evil? Because in my head canon, Offie Cat is asleep for 10 months of the year, and only wakes up for the month before and the month of OffieCon, and then goes back to sleep and causes problems the 2 months that they're awake. I hadn't finished it because I'm still trying to learn animation. I'm teaching myself, but I'm trying to make this technical difficulty screen for next time. Because I think it's cute, but like it's just gonna take me a lot of time to do. Because I thought it was fun, and because, you know, you can't predict that everything's gonna go right all the time. And I think it's funny to have OffieCon as a technical difficulties thing, just kind of like personalities. I see they're using their time away wisely. Listen, I too would nap for 10 months of the year if I could help it. Born to hibernate, forced to participate in capitalism. I think I posted that on my Tumblr at some point in time because I was just like, man, I just want to go to bed. And then OffieCon, PBC Cat has a bell. Which I know I was going on earlier about how cats, you know, should not have bells. It's bad for them, but this is a fictional cat. It's funny. It's a fun design. And it's just a giant fucking bell. I'm not supposed to swear on here. That's my one. That's my one. Shoot. Oh, hi, PK. Oh, I wish I could go hibernate, man. I have two wishes. I wish I could sleep forever, and I wish I didn't ever have to sleep. Genuinely, like, I like resting. I like taking a little nap. But like, if it were not physically a necessity to sleep, I would not, because I just am so busy all the time. It would be nice to like be able to dedicate half my day to working and then like another half my day to like not working and actually like doing that. Not consecutively, of course. I would die, but like, you know, breaking up work. I don't know if anybody else feels the same way, but like, if I didn't have to sleep, I would have so much more stuff done. Like, I would probably have my my VTuber model like drawn and ready to be rigged by now. I would just have so much stuff done. If I didn't have to sleep. Or participate in capitalism, but I can't really control either of those things. Isn't it sad when we don't understand why humans have to sleep? Yeah, it really is. I feel like if I hadn't been such a workaholic all my life, I would actually like not feel that way. But I'm like a workaholic on top of a perfectionist, and it's just like not a fun combo. I burn out really hard and really fast. Which is another reason I'm on like a break right now. And just focusing on school. Like, we know our body has to recharge and stuff, but we don't really understand why we're unconscious scientifically. Yeah. No, I get that. It's clearly because of the Russian sleep experiment, which is not real. I will add. But there was like it's like a copy pasta, creepypasta thing where it's just basically like this like, they try to see what would happen if they could not make people sleep. And it was just like, I remember seeing it when I was in middle school, and I was like, that can't be real, right? That can't be a thing. Apparently I was one of the only middle schoolers who had this thought, because it's very popular in my school for some reason. A little rural school in the middle of nowhere. It was a very classic creepypasta. I actually saw somebody put the Russian sleep agent, sleep experiment guy into their Tomodachi Island, and I thought that was really cool. I've been playing the heck out of that game though, I'm not even gonna lie. I had to actually like hide my Switch from myself, so I would actually like sit down and do my homework. And now I just don't use my PC. I haven't been using my PC for like a week and a half, and anytime I take a break, I just been playing that or drawing in it, which has been horrifying but also really fun. You know what? Maybe what I'll do is I'll do a Tomodachi live stream for the PBC, and I'll add the mods and have them live on an island with the PBC cats. I think that would be funny. I'd have to start a new save, but I'd totally be willing to do that. I'll talk to them. I joked about it with Finch, and he said it sounded fun. So hey, you know what? It's a party. Add a bunch of characters from the mods and the server members. That would be really cool. Wait, the amount of people I have seen put the Magnus Archives cast on their island, it's like I would be a millionaire. I would have so many dollars if I stated that. Oh my gosh, wait. Oh, I could add so many things. I still have 50 characters left on my personal island. One of the funniest things that did happen, because for my personal island, I'm planning on not streaming it. It's just gonna be a for me for fun thing. So I did put a version of like myself that's like my IRL self. Free reign to you. Yeah, I'm totally doing that. I'm totally gonna do that. But so part of what I did, right, is I added like my IRL self as well as like my online persona and some of my online friends. And what happened on my island is that my like Moth fell in love with my like IRL self. And it was really funny, and now they're married, and I just think it's hilarious. I'm just letting it happen. Look at this polite little lad. This is just a little guy. Sora. He's just the roundest boy. He kind of looks like PK in this. He's just a little fluffier than PK is. I think I'm gonna get rid of this little lip in the bed. I think I'm just gonna like carry it straight across. Like that. Yeah, that's fun. Bus Pat Cat. It's like he's sitting here taunting you. Like, what? Don't you wanna pet me? I'm just a little guy. My cat's like that. He's like, what? I'm just a little guy. Don't you like, don't you love me? My cats are master manipulators though. Now we can grab that white. You wear clipping masks. He has like a siren. He's like a siren. Yes. Okay, so now continuing on. With the boy. The yellow is going to be the irises. Not the irises, sorry. The like quote unquote whites of the eyes. As well as the eyebrows. And the insides of the ears. See, that's a yellow cat, like that. That's basically all of the yellow on him. What color should we make the bed? Any suggestions? PBC Cat has jaundice. Yeah. It's okay. He's getting better. It's fine. He's getting better. Gray? That's a good color. We'll do that. And then the eyes are the dark blue. And the star will be the light blue. And that, honestly, that's like pretty much it. That's kind of like all for him. He is by far the easiest one to do. We just had to start with Jam Cat because obviously, you know, Jam is coming up. Well, Jam is over, but the listening stuff is coming up, which is really exciting. I'm really funny, guys. Don't worry. PBC Cat has a voice, John. Does it make you spill your water? Yeah, I've heard that one before, though. I remember the first... I don't remember who told me. I think it was Niet, who was like, they have jaundice or something like that. I don't recall. It's been a while. This guy's been around for 2 years now. Baby's 2 years old. And then, of course, the bell on the collar is the light blue. Discarding the fact that I went on a tangent about how cats shouldn't have bells on their collars. This guy is digital. He's fine. And then we got the dark blue for the actual collar. All the collars will be the actual dark blue. I think one of the reasons I didn't end up putting a collar on Offie Cat is because I was like, man, you can't tame Offie-Con. Offie-Con is a wild, wild thing, no matter what. Imagine walking up in the middle of the night, you see a blue-eyed cat. I'm not even original. No. You're original in this context. I just think it's I mean, I've been around this guy for a while. I think I'm gonna do like a gray blue. That. I know you guys can't really see what I'm doing. You see those little lines popping up. I'm basically scooping outside of the margins. Because I've got a clipping mask on, so it's like connecting all these things without me having to be super exact. It's saving me some time. It's basically what I just did. And then I'll just follow the lines on the inside. Nah, just drop. Boom. He's colored. That's it. That's literally PBC Cat. Super easy, super baby. The paw pads are also yellow, but obviously we can't really see those in this image. So what I'll do now is we'll just throw up a multiply layer called day with a little baby with this guy. I'll use that same dark purple just for consistency's sake. Because what I'll do after I'm done with them is I'll compile them all into one big image. I think that's fun. What the heck? There we go. Saw your sword and holy, your singing is so majestic. Oh, stop! Stop! Too nice. I have been training for a very, very long time. I really appreciate that. For those of you who may not have the context of that comment, I'm a musical theater major, and I've been getting ready for my final on Wednesday. So I've been posting some clips of me singing on my personal social media stories. Because I don't know. I'm happy where my voice has come. I've been on HRT for a while, and so I'm just really happy that I finally found it again. Because my first like 2 months back to school, I was just really struggling, just with like puberty basically, and now I've kind of found my voice again, and I'm just like really happy about it. So very off topic from what we're doing here, but that's just some minor context. Because I am a college student, fortunately, unfortunately, however you want to look at it. Yeah. The fun part about PBC Cat is that there is just, there's a lot of room to shade because. Oh, hi, PK. Oh, hi. Oh, you're gonna sit on my arm. Okay. Thanks, buddy. Jaw drop once I clicked on it. I was like going insane in the city. Ah! I don't take compliments well, but thank you so much. I have some more to post because I'm doing what I'm doing right now. So for those of you who may not be familiar with like my career choice field, hopefully I can get into. Well, not hopefully, I will get into. I will. I need to be positive about it. Is there's something called an audition book where you kind of just like have go-to songs. And what I've been doing this semester, since I'm going to be graduating soon, is filling out my book, which means like if there's any missing gaps in like style or composer or whatever, I'm learning those pieces now and next semester as well. And I'm adding in pieces that I typically wouldn't sing. So I've got some Little Shop of Horrors. I've got Chicago in there. Next semester, I'm going to be adding some operetta, which is going to be horrifying. I don't know if anybody here is familiar with Pirates of Penzance, but it is an operetta that is very popular. It has a large cast, and there's a very, very popular and well-known prattle song in it called I Am the Very Model of a Modern Major General, and I'm learning that. And it's very hard. It's a very difficult operetta piece to do, and I've got a couple more I'm learning, a couple more foreign language pieces. You did Pirates last year? Oh my gosh! Dude, I want my college to do Pirates of Penzance so bad, but we, quote, don't have enough opera singers, end quote. You don't need opera singers in operetta. It's fine. The stage had the shippers. Oh, that's so cool. That's actually so cool. What? That's so cool. Anyway, PBC Cat is done. That's the baby right there. The baby. Our opera department put it on. Ah, that's so cool. My opera department is losing like all of their basses and baritones this year. You would not believe how many people have been like, oh, hey, Moth, do you want to take opera? And I was like, maybe, probably not though. So I've had, because now I'm like a baritone. I used to be a tenor alto, and I'm baritone borderline bass. Please send it. I would love to see. But there, we've got PBC Cat done. Now, Offie Cat is a little more difficult because they're a lot more complicated when it comes to, some patterns and designs I put on them, because I just was having a fun time. I actually don't know if I've done a full body Offie Cat purely for the fact that they have a lot of stuff going on for them. So they're a little more complicated, but we got it. Give me 2 shakes. What I might do for time's sake is I might just like teach you guys how to draw him out and then do the same thing for Camp Cat. And then finish them after, depending on how much time is left. Because I still need to get back to doing homework today at some point, but yeah. 1 second while I run to the restroom and grab some more water, because, I am trying to stay hydrated. I've been donating plasma, so I need to drink a lot of water, so I'll be right back. So sorry. All right, hello. So sorry, I'm back. How do you extract the plasma, or just includes blood? Basically, what they do is they pull your blood out into this machine. The machine separates the plasma from the blood, the red blood cells, and then what it does is it puts the red blood cells with an anti-coagulating agent back into your body. So you can only donate twice a week, but they pay you enough. I had to do it because my new glasses broke and I didn't have a warranty on them and I couldn't afford a new pair, so I had to go donate a couple times so I could buy some new glasses. But I got them, you know, purchased and stuff, so I should be set for now. They should be coming in the next like couple days because I've been rocking with my old glasses that don't really have a high enough prescription in them. So, you know. But I'm party rocking. And it's honestly not that bad. I'll probably continue giving because it's just like nice pocket change, I guess, to have. And I have had zero issues giving so far. The only issue I had initially was because I didn't have enough water the day before, so it was just harder to give. But the last time I went, I was out in half an hour. So it takes anywhere from an hour to 2 hours, depending on how hydrated you are, how much food you've had, how well you slept. It's really cool. Plus in America, at the very least, they do pay you for coming in, which is obviously like one of the reasons I went. But I'll probably continue doing it because it's not bad. It just takes like an hour out of my day. If it's at the end of the day, you know what I mean? It's like, whatever. And now I'm trying to pull up a quick little reference for Offie because I've got a lot of doodles of them. I'm just looking through my computer for a good one to reference. Probably something like this will be good. So start with Offie. So Offie is a little more difficult purely because of the shapes that they embody. So I'm probably gonna start with some general shapes. So obviously we've kind of got, I'm gonna start a little bigger than that. We've got our head shape here. It's gonna be facing more this way. Get that middle line, kind of indicate where we're going. Kind of take a pear-ish shape, I guess, and connect like that. And that's gonna represent like the chest and beginning of the torso. You can take the arm here with a nice little circle and connect it down to like an elbow looking joint. Flick this out, take a similar shape in, and then you can adjust your paws here. Kind of like that. And we'll do an outstretched paw over here. And because they're so fluffy, if you can kind of see I'm being really loose with the shape of the lines, it's because they're so fluffy as is. I'll be adding a lot of fuzz to all of this. And I'll probably do this as like because obviously we're kind of like flipping forward here. So it's probably going to be like the paws are like the beans and stuff, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But I'll adjust that later. Then with the back portion, we're going to take it way up. Kind of let this stomach slink in. We can grab a haunch right here, the little hind leg. Kind of follow those lines. It's more of a... Hold on, sorry, I'm getting lost in my own strokes. For someone who says, who isn't an actor, you seem to... Oh, thank you, I appreciate that. I was like, I'm not an expert. I have a general idea, but like there are some poses and shapes that are difficult for me. I mean, that's with anything, I suppose. I have been drawing for a very long time. I've been learning more on how to draw animals. especially like more anthropomorphic things. So I just kind of like think it's fun to draw fursonas. Like that's for funsies. That's silly and whimsy. I think everybody should, for fun, have a fursona. That's cool. It's quite literally the question of like, ooh, what animal would you be if you could be an animal? It's like, okay, well, I'm gonna do that because it's funny, and not funny because it's fun. Simple as. And then their tail, because Offie is incredibly fluffy. Excited to see what I do for Graven. Oh my gosh, now that I have an Apple Pencil again, I can actually start on your project. I totally meant to message you about that. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I just realized that I never sent you a message about that. Yeah, so basically I was at school, my iPad fell off a music stand, because I also use my iPad for not only art, but also for a lot of my music, because only one of my classes requires me to print my music, and like, I print 3 copies, one for me, one for my teacher, one for my pianist, and I have used all of my printing credits this semester. So I forgot about it too, that's fair enough. But yeah, now that once my finals wrap up on Wednesday, so I'll probably crank it out Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. The only thing I have going on Friday is I invited some of my friends from the class that's Hell on Earth TM. But otherwise, I invited them, not that they're Hell on Earth, the professor's kind of Hell on Earth to be with sometimes. But that's okay. So now what I'm gonna do. This back leg is bothering me, and I don't really know why. Probably because it's got a line here. Yeah, that's better. And I'm gonna grab the tail. We're gonna swoop it. He's kind of floating, but you know what? He's never gotten a big full body before, besides that sketch for the animation. You can have it. I'm kind of using this line over here like it's the bones, like the actual tail itself, I guess. And just drawing the fluff on top, because it's kind of fun. But now the fun part is A, getting his little face in here. But B, what I'll do after I get this little face in here is I'm going to fluff up the body a little bit. So the fun part about Offie, we got more head tuff. Because I just think that's fun, but their ears are really tall and pretty oval shaped. And they've got big old ear fluff. And yes, I am doing this because I am trying to save us some time. Oh, hold on. I'm receiving a phone call right now. I sincerely apologize. Give me one moment. So sorry, guys. So sorry. Apparently, I left my wallet at my friend's house last night. I visited her because I was going insane doing doing homework in my house. So I went to her house and I left my wallet there. And I was looking for that this morning. So that would explain why I could not find it. I sincerely apologize. I'm like getting pulled away from this. It's not my intention, I swear. But yeah. So Offie, he's got a very like square face. So what I'll do to show you is I'm just gonna like draw the lines for the face. Right? You can kind of see those, I hope. If not, I can use a different color. And then you're gonna ignore those and you're gonna add fluff. Just 2 big cheeks here. And then it comes down into some more prominent little side tufts. It almost looks like hair, like bangs, kind of. And then his nose is a tall little heart. And very mischievous, and there is a line on this one. Sometimes I even give him a little snaggle tooth because I like a good snaggle tooth. Anybody who's seen any of my designs knows that I really like a good snaggle tooth. Glad to hear Wallace found. Yes, I was like, oh man, I can't find it. That sucks. Oh well, moving on. And then, well, lo and behold, and then Offie's eyes are huge. They're big and they sweep in, and then instead of like doing this thing here, they do the opposite side. It's almost a full circle, honestly. Their eyebrows are really cute little tufts. And they have some fur patterns that I will go over with you guys when I get to the coloring portion. I'm not concerned about time anymore. I've just decided I'm just gonna finish this however I can. And Offie's eyes are inverses of PBC Cat's eyes. So the stars are the dark blue and the irises are the light blue. They still have the yellow. You get the point. I could draw the stars, holy. There we go. I love this star shape, but sometimes it is hard to like do repeatedly. For some reason, couldn't really tell you why. But then Offie is super duper fluffy. They don't have a collar. They've got lots of chest fluff, got some arm fluff. I don't know if have any of you ever like seen or had like a Maine Coon? Because that's kind of what Offie's based on shape-wise. Big peeper, he's got 30-30 vision. Oh, 100%. But I had Maine Coon. I had 2 Maine Coons growing up, and so you know he kind of is a shape-wise. He's the younger one I had. Just very big critter. That's why the feet are so big too. Kind of messy line art or line work, I guess. We can do to indicate that is we can add some fluff like on the body itself. I think I've seen this cat's. What's the PBC Cat's canon in relation to Offie Cat? Brothers, besties, lovers, mayhaps? I don't know. I feel like they're like besties, you know? Because like, it's like, I could say they're lovers. But I'm like, these are also work, like work things. I think they're like co-workers more than anything. But like besties. I would say if I were to give all the cats alignments, Offie Cat's like chaotic neutral, just crazy little creature. Platonic soulmate coworkers. Yes, that. Coworkers to romance, new trope just dropped. That trope has been here. I've been on AO3 for long enough. I've seen that. Coworkers to romance, that's also, isn't that literally like the Magus archives? It's new to me. Okay, that's fair. Jim and Pam, literally, yeah. No, we're teasing, we're teasing. I still haven't listened to TMA. That's fair, that's fair. I really liked it. I made the poor decision of finishing it like while I was getting ready for a musical. I listened to the last episode and I cried so much I had to redo all my makeup for the show. So that just indicates to you that it's quite good. Because I cried and then I called Finch and I was like, why would you let me do this? And he was like, I literally told you not to do that. And I was like, yeah, you're right. But it was worth it. That's what I'll say. Sorry, I'm like deciding that I hate every way that I've been doing those on the ears for some reason, apparently. There we go. And then what you can do is you connect the head by kind of looking like it's going behind. Like that. It's such a beautiful story. About Protocol. I actually am severely behind on Protocol. I need to actually like get back into it. But I've been so busy, I haven't even had time to listen to my favorite audio dramas at all. Protocol's back in June? Good to know. I didn't know it was off. Back during Pride Month, nonetheless. I see what you're doing, Jonathan Sims. Which is wild because they said it'd return in spring. It's been off for 7 months. Oh wow, I actually am really behind. I think the last episode I listened to was like episode like 25. I don't really remember. You know what? I'm curious enough. I'll check for you. Just don't start playing and I'll be fine. Let's see. I'm scrolling for a while. This is horrifying. The last episode I listened to is episode 20. Yikes! That came out like 2 years ago. Oh, I'm a fake fan. I'm really behind. It's just how it goes, you know. Sometimes you just are behind, and that's just life. Yeah, I remember I binge listened to it in the PBC. I was like, hey guys, I'm gonna like catch up on this. If anybody wants to join me, I'm gonna just hang out in here. I listened to episodes 1 to 20, I believe, so that would explain it. I remember because that's when I first moved into my apartment. I remember that now. Time flies, dude. Holy. It's okay. It's not as good as TMA, but it's starting to ramp up. Oh, heck yeah. My favorite thing to do with hair, and I love doing big fluffy things, like hair-wise, whatever-wise, because it's just so much fun in the long run. So I really like I really like drawing Offie Cat. It's just so much fluff. Her little paw. Little murder mittens in there. I think this is the only cat I would ever actually like draw with their like their claws out of all of them. Maybe Camp Cat, because Camp Cat's a little feral. Steeply upsetting that every time a fun stream happens that I am deeply behind on work deadlines and I have a good stream. Yes, good luck. If you come back, yell at you. Yes, go, be gone, go work. I'm supposed to be working too, but I'll get to that here after I finish the stream. I will say I do love drawing paws. I think it's so fun. The shape is just so silly. Make me chuckle. Bye-bye. Okay. I think I like Offie Cat so much because they look fluffy, but they don't look soft at this. You know what I mean? It's like that thing's probably gonna bite me, but maybe not. Is it worth the risk? Dun, dun, dun. Alright, and that's the little guy. So now what I'll do is I'll do the same thing I did last time where I will just pull up those colors. F37613. Oops, that's really bright, so sorry. FF953B. And the very last orange. Beans. FFAF70. That should be all of Offie's colors, I believe. Yeah. Oh, and I almost forgot the most important part of Offie. Which is the antennae. Little alien creature. I believe they're much smaller. They're more like they're right here. And then there's just a little fluff around the edges of it. There we go. I was like, I'm missing something. The part that makes them devious. Yes, now. Nope. There we go. That's better. So Offie's main color is this orange. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and start with our automatic selection. We're mixing some gaps somewhere, so I'm gonna have to find that. Somewhere else as well. That's always the hard part about this, is like sometimes I miss gaps. That'll be 1. There we go, that's what that was. And then I invert it, because then what I can do is I can just take this orange and I can just do the fill layer option, and that's the main color done. Blue! Blue, yes. So blue. Their eyes also have the yellow here, but they don't have much of the yellow outside of, you know, this. Dark blue in the stars. How many jam cats are there? So they're not all jam, they're just the PBC cats. If you want to be technical, there are 2 jam cats, because we have the podcast jam, which is the month-long event, and then we have pod camp, which is another jam event, but that one is like 72 hours. It's more a true jam. More like a game jam, but obviously for audio drama. Yeah. So they're just like little mascots for the different events, and obviously the PBC Cat is for like the book club as a whole. Yeah, so the next fun part is I gave this baby a lot of sorry, I gave them a lot of fur patterns. I'm trying to pull everything up in a way that makes it easy for me to see things, so I apologize. Camp Cat, oh yeah, Camp Cat's the hardest one because of the fur pattern. They're actually really hard to do. I kind of went almost in like the order of like easiest to hardest, except for I would flip PBC and jam. But what I like about this little guy is they've got some fun little fur patterns that make me happy in particular. They're not, you know, what is it? They're not practical in the slightest, they're just fun. We have, obviously you can kind of see we have 2 different colors of orange here. The super light one will be used on the insides of the ears. Yeah. And this and the shape of the fur is what makes them really hard to draw in comparison to the others, in my opinion. Because, you know, it's just a lot of extra attention to detail, which is really fun. So it's not like they're difficult, it just takes a little more time, which is, you know, in and of itself can be considered difficult because time management. You're doing really well in my opinion. Oh, I appreciate that. Their beans. I don't know what color their beans would be. They're probably just yellow, honestly. I kind of just defaulted everybody kind of has yellow beans except for... Actually, Jam Cat might have yellow beans. I don't remember. I just like this yellow a lot. It makes me happy. And it goes well with basically every single color palette I've gone with so far, intentional and unintentional, because most of these colors I've sampled directly from how we brand things, color-wise. I really like that Ophicon's orange, though. I just think orange is such a good color. It's really underutilized, in my opinion. But yeah, that's kind of like the general there. And then we'll come in with this super duper 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 light one. And it's gonna go on the ears. It's like, it's definitely a really busy design, but it's still fun. So, you know, what can you do? Come in with the orange here. And it gets some lines on the antenna. And then the tooth, you could just use white. I'm particular, and I never like to make teeth exactly white because your teeth are not. And I do like a super duper off, like yellow white. It's typically what I lean for. Yeah, that's the baby right there. That's the guy. We'll just do our same thing where we take our multiply layer. We'll use that same dark purple that we used on the other two. Did I? Yeah. And obviously shading, this one's going to be a little more complicated because obviously we have the shading of adding all the fluff layers, and there's just a little more detail to pay mind to, I suppose. Just be a clipping mask, thank you. But like I said, it's really not that bad. This is also another reason I like to use clipping masks, because you can just really get a lot done. I totally forgot to make his belly lighter. Whoopsie. Let me do that really quickly. I know you can't really see that right now, but you'll see it soon, I promise. I feel like I'm missing more things. Design-wise, let me take a quick look. Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, I knew I was missing something. It's okay. Shading is done. I was like, man, there's just something that's missing. I forgot I gave him mittens. Mittens and stars, because like I said, the fur pattern is pretty complicated. What I'll do for the stars is I'll just do little crosses, and then I'll just connect the corners like this. And smooth it out. That is the fastest way to do it. My brush is just a little too big though, so I'm gonna... And you can, if the ends are too short, just flick it out. And that should be it. Yeah, color-wise, that's it. Gotta do some work. Bye, Ollie. Have fun. And then I think I need a little more yellow in the corners, and those eyes should be done. Yep, and then we have Offie Cat. Gonna group that all up. And now, the more difficult cat is... Your grayscale coloring is crying, but it's gonna make it... Yeah, it is! Yeah, I believe in you, Quills. Now, Camp Cat's hard. Because Camp Cat is based on a wildcat, essentially. A type of wildcat. Gosh, I'm so hungry. I just got hit with the wave of I would love to have food. I haven't had lunch yet today. So I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna grab a sandwich or something, because I could do that. Wildcat. Wildcrats! Ah! That takes me back, dude. I love that show. I loved PBS. It's just such a shame. Everything that's, you know, just such a shame. I want to draw Camp Cat a little more how to say I don't know, they're very serious looking, they're very stiff. I want to do like a fun pose with them, but I can't really think of like what I want to do. I think you get some like poses from the sides, but I want to do like a frontal so you can like, you know, work on their face. Because their face I really like. I really like the design for that. It was really fun. I just really like that they have a little bandana because I thought it was silly and cute. Because they're also just like a very long shape. You know what? Actually, they're long. I have an idea. We'll just do them. We'll just draw them like being held up. Because I think that would be really fun, because they're just so long. Gonna head out as well. Poster drawings this. Thank you so much. Yes, have a good night. I know it's getting kind of late for you. Thank you, Quills, for stopping by. Thank you, thank you. I think I'll get it done next half an hour. It's just a little longer than I thought it was gonna be. But you know when like you like hold a cat and they're like really long when they like let their legs dangle? I think that would be really funny in particular for Camp Cat because they're so long. Hold on. hand is just a titch big. With something like this, you know, just being like held up long. Just gonna like, I'm gonna write like, but yeah, so Camp Cat, structure-wise, right? I forget the name of the cat I based them on. They have really, really tall ears, really long bodies, and very short-haired. I don't recall what I based them off of. I really don't, because it was a specific kind of like wildcat. Because somebody was like, "Isn't that like, you know, like a non-domesticated cat?" And I was like, "Yeah, but it's fun." Got their little bandana on. Yeah, because their face is really articulate in comparison to the others. Baguette, indeed. Their nose is flat and looks more like an actual cat's nose and less like a cartoon. Their mouth is pretty pointy. And they kind of have a really chill expression. Like, their eyes, I've never drawn them with open eyes. I think this is just fun. My iPad's dying. It was at 100%. They've got little hooks on the eye pattern. They're pretty much this with a bunch of pattern. So, hey, what I'll do. Scoot that over a little bit, and then I'm gonna go ahead and duplicate it for time's sake. I know I've been duplicating a lot, but for time's sake, I'm just trying to make sure I whip through all of these for everybody. Golden cat? Do you remember how the baguette cat? African golden cat. Yeah, the cat looks like this. Like, this is what the cat looks like. It's a very tall, the pattern I stayed. The only thing I changed is the fact that he's like a little darker, a little toastier, a little less golden. It's like almost, it's not, I think it's in the same family as ocelots. It's just a larger cat than ocelots. It's not a Bengal. People sometimes have them for pets, and they're like kind of insane to have as a pet. I really just can't think of that. Let me look up that cat you just said. No, not that. That guy's silly though. I like him. He kind of looks like a mountain lion. It's not a Bengal, but it's... I just can't remember. I'm sure it was based on a wildcat of sorts. They're cute though. It's some sort of spotted cat though. I'm just lazy about the design. I just use dashes because it was easier. Well, not lazy, I'm efficient. Black-footed cat. Maybe that's what it was. No, that guy's still too small. But those guys are really cute, and I think maybe if I have to do another cat, maybe it'll be based on that. Hold on, I'm actually kind of dedicated to finding this out. My iPad needs to charge up a little bit anyway. Is this one? No. Oh! It's a serval. It's a serval. Yep, that's what it is. It's a serval. Yeah, because I think they're so cute. They're not domesticated at all, but I know there's somebody who has one because they rescued it. I remember because I had discovered them on social media around the time I was designing this. Which is why he looks so short-haired, because servals are super short-haired. They have very, very sleek coats. Big old ears, yeah. Huge old ears. My iPad power at 15's not bad. I know, right? Who won it? This is just a little guy. However, comma, this little guy probably could rip your face off. He's so cute though. Okay. He wouldn't hurt a. Oh my god, my face, literally. I got the hands in there, so now I can do the rest of the cat. Not like think about the hands in the way. Except for the fact that I do have to get his mittens in there. And I kind of made his like mittens like more like almost, they're pointed at the ends. Just because I just thought it was a fun shape and a good expression of like a more sharp character, I guess. Because I really into round design a lot. I really just like round design. I think it looks nice. Like 80% of the time, it's like the go-to. But I wanted to, you know, try something new. And I'm glad I did, because he's a fun shaped little guy. I'm gonna just erase where he overlaps the hands. That should be the only spot, honestly. This is so silly. I love this actually, like a lot. This is just a little guy. Then we can just flick that off. And we've got our long guy, our little long boy. What we'll do is we'll merge those two together. I'm gonna plug my device back in. Because for whatever reason, my iPad, I mean, not to just like kind of go out how old I am, but I've had this iPad pre-COVID. I got it when it first came out. This is like one of the very, very, very first versions of the iPad Pro. So it's old, and it does not like when I try to do line art while it's plugged in, and its battery diminishes incredibly quickly. Yeah, I got this iPad for Christmas when I was still living with my family. And I mean, it has gotten me through 80 plus credit hours of school and so many other things. I know oh yeah, I know the charger is toast because I used to charge it with a Nintendo Switch charger. Because at the time I wasn't aware of like higher voltages messing with batteries as I am now that I've existed with it for some time. But yeah, you live and you learn. So the primary color of this little guy is this beautiful little tan color. So what I'll do is the same thing I've been doing is I'm going to give you the hex codes and stuff. D39D6F. That's a 4F. That's the primary color. And then I guess I just used this white. I don't think I sampled that color when I made this. Hold on. Let me go grab it from the OG. We got that added to the palette. F7E82. And these are all pretty like minor colors because there's just so much happening with the coat pattern. 986 and 335. Sorry, but I think it's time to pull the plug. No, I can't, dude. I can't afford a new iPad. That's one of the issues I had run into was, when I was looking at getting it, so when Apple Pencil first broke, right, I got a new one. I got the Apple Pencil Pro, which said it worked with iPad Pro. Doesn't work with my model of iPad Pro. So I considered just getting a new iPad, but it's like $600. I can't afford that. It's $600 with a trade-in to get the same storage, same size of my iPad. That's with a trade-in. Without the trade-in, it's almost $1,000, which is insane because Apple is just getting more expensive. 51361F. Okay. So yeah, like I would love to do that. Trust me, I would, but I just like, it would be a very stupid financial decision. Cause that's like my rent times 2, dude. I could pay for almost 2 months of rent with that amount of money, you know? And I don't have a credit card and I'm not really looking at getting one anytime soon. So the only way I'd be able to do that is if I did have a credit card and paid it off like that. I think I could get her to graduation. I think I can get her to graduation. I use her a lot, but I think she could make me to graduation. I hope she does. Cause I could really use that. But yeah. So continuing on with Camp Cat, it's a lot of buffing, it's a lot of blending, and a lot of hatching. Which, if you don't know what hatching is, it's when you make little lines across the project. And also they're kind of on fire because they're toasted marshmallow. So these are where the colors start to differ from like the original creature. Is because I wanted to incorporate the marshmallow vibes, you know? Their little mitts are also the marshmallow color. Because, you know, they're a toasted marshmallow, like a s'more kind of thing. So it's fun. We'll just go ahead and overtop it all, do the hands. There we go. Get the hands done. Aw, yeah. And then, since their eyes aren't open, the bandana is the dark blue. And then the yellow is the bandana clasp. That, at the very least, is quite simple. Okay. And here comes the quote-unquote fun part. Anything you'd like to share PBC related? PBC Cat related? I actually had a really difficult time with the design for Camp Cat. I went through like 6 different iterations. Like 6 different like it was so much. It was really hard to like get it in and done. And then their shapes are just so shape. But what I'd recommend doing if you are also like drawing them right now or like following along in a VOD or whatever, start with one color for your hatching and then move to the next color. Don't like jump between colors. Your brain will thank you later. I speak purely from experience, and if you feel like you need another color later, then just fill it in later, you know. But yeah, so obviously because they're based on a serval, servals have pretty complicated coat patterns, and this is my solution to making it more simple and easier to recreate and digest from a standpoint of design. So like I picked this dark brown because it's like a chocolate almost, because you know they're based on a s'more. Obviously the graham cracker colors right there, and then I've got this slightly lighter brown that I come in and I add either on its own or slightly over top of the darker brown, just to get some dimension in there. And then we'll go over at the very end with some black, just to hit like those really important points, like the tail and some other pattern things, and also just adding some black dashes into the pattern as a whole. And I'm trying to remember to add my dashes up here as well, because they are being held, which is not a standard, but I think it's a funny image. Good image. And then what I'll do now is I'll come in with the black. I'll do the tail the way it's... Oh, whoa. I'll do the tail the way it's supposed to be done, which is the really black tip. And then I'll hatch it through. And now you can still see that line, so then you just keep hatching and curving until that, like, initial line kind of dissipates. And, like, just follow the curve of the tail with it. Yeah, that's my number one. Hatching can make or break a piece. Like, that looks really nice now. So what I'll now do is I'll also add some black hatching closer to the back, because the top of the serval's back is much darker than the underbelly, and obviously we're kind of showing just the belly here. And then I'll come to the very tippy top of the head, right? And I'll add some black up in through here. Add a few lines here, you know, kind of just like adjusting it out. And then what really is gonna bring this together is when I take this blending tool, and I just very gently buff these harsh lines. And like I said, this is what makes them more complicated than the other cats, is that there's just a lot of blending involved. I would recommend doing the white and the patterns on a different layer. I seem to have not done that. I thought I did, but I didn't. Because that's going to allow you to just buff with a little more freedom. And not, you know, the fear of running into other items, I guess. I'll even do their hands just a little bit, their little paws, just to emphasize the intention of a gradient. Yeah. And the way I blend is I obviously have my blending mode, and then I use a medium airbrush with a like mid to low opacity, or a mid to high opacity, so I can go over it multiple times and just really buff it in nice for myself. Yeah, and that's like basically how to do it. That's the little guy right there. And then we'll just pop on our shading, and then that'll be it. And obviously, just because their body's kind of squished up like this is just a general art lesson, I guess, not less than just them. But like these areas are gonna be really dark in comparison to the rest. And then anything underneath like this. I bet we could upload some of these as stickers into the PBC. I'll see if they want me to do that when I'm done here. Well, probably not right when I'm done, because I do have to go back to finishing my coursework for the year. Did I not set this to multiply yet? I was about to say, that doesn't look right. There we go. All right. And then, we'll throw some back here like this. Just because that entire back is, not facing the light source, which we're pretending is over on this side. Where their face is, I guess. I guess would mean this needs to get kind of buffed down. Like that. I love understanding lighting and stuff. It's very interesting. And then we'll just do a slight bit right here. All right, and then we got him. We'll drop that opacity down to like about 30%. And that's the last little baby. You killed the explanation, BTW. I appreciate that. I was trying my best. So now what I'm gonna do actually is I'm gonna group everything together like I did before. And then I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna duplicate this canvas. And what we'll do is I'm gonna come into the canvas settings. I'm gonna make it bigger like that. Because now what we'll do is this is I'm gonna pull all the color swatches out. As I'm gonna make basically a composition piece with it now. Or I'm gonna put them all together. And now I'm gonna turn everybody back on. And we're going to flatten these images down. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play with it. So I'm gonna take this guy, right? And then we're gonna take these colors, stack them next to it. And this as well. Gotta see what I'm doing to babies, yeah! So now we're just gonna like format them in a fun way. Kind of like this, like a family picture, I suppose, if you want to think about it that way. And then it'll be composed with all of the color swatches. Like so. So then I can go post this in the book club. Like so. And then because he didn't even use that color, I'm just going to simply erase it. And there we go. There they all are. What I'll do is I'll just flatten all of this together now. Bravo, bravo. And we will really quickly give it a little bit of a background color. Now it's about finding like what's a good background color. Nothing with like massive amounts of eye strain. But based on this, we're like, probably a green would be good. Maybe this blue. Yeah, that's a good blue. It is a little too close to the blues that are used in swatches though, so we'll just darken it. And then what we'll do is we'll come in with that slightly lighter blue, darken it just a little bit. And I'm just gonna give him a little bit of an outline. That's just something I personally like to do with my art. I like to just give a nice, fresh outline. I know you got 10% left. I'm begging you, hang on. Just like that. And I'll give everybody a different color, honestly. How fun to notice that, like, right at the end. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Sorry, I'm also like locking in because outlining is kind of rough sometimes. Alright, and there we go with that one. On the very last baby, you just do maybe a green. That green's a little bright. Because after all, they are camp cat. Well, nah, I'll just finish outlining it and change the color later. I think maybe I'll do a orange instead. Maybe more red. Yeah, that's fun. There the babies are. They're all done now. Thank goodness. I like this. This is a fun composition. I'm gonna go ahead and give this a signature. Day is 5/2/26. Awesome! Sweet! Well, thank you. I need to pet them all of them. Yeah, I get that, Trust. Thank you everybody for coming around today. This has been an absolute freaking blast for me. I'm gonna go and post these in the server, check the VOD out and all the other things. Jam's coming up, so exciting, and just keep your your push notifications on so we can just try to get all that stuff taken care of, so we can, you know, ensure that we are